China is laying the groundwork for war. Can the US and its allies put a stop to it in time? Welcome to China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. Remember, YouTube is still suppressing the show, so as part of Operation Honeypot, leave a comment below with the honeypot emoji or the algorithm. So last week, China wowed the world with its display of military might, especially when they showed off their missiles and drones. Weapons that China will most certainly use against Taiwan and the US when it feels ready to strike. But China's weapons development isn't the only thing that the world needs to worry about. Just as dangerous is China's infrastructure, and not just to the people that might be inside it. Okay, yeah, I know infrastructure doesn't have the same ring to it as missile or drone, and it's harder to launch a house at someone, unless this is the Wizard of Oz. But when it comes to the CCP's military ambitions, infrastructure is absolutely key. China's building up military bases like it's the most aggressive version of SimCity ever. This includes a wartime command site in Beijing that's 10 times larger than the Pentagon, a $50 billion military stronghold in Hainan, just on the other side of Taiwan, and let's not forget all those militarized fake islands in the South China Sea. But there's a new threat: Chinese oil rigs. For years, the CCP has been building these rigs in the waters of other countries, including Japan, Vietnam, and now Taiwan is getting a similar treatment. Earlier this month, this report from the Jamestown Foundation revealed that 12 oil structures owned by Chinese state-owned enterprise China National Offshore Oil Corporation have been encroaching on Taiwan's Pratas Islands since at least May 2020. China, of course, would have you believe that these oil rigs are just for peaceful purposes. Just look at the heart. Surely this is a sign these oil rigs that are built within the borders of other nations are all about love, and not a reference to all the hearts they forcibly harvested from dissidents. It's just like when China conducts military drills around Taiwan. So much love. Given that we're talking about the CCP's China, however, I highly doubt their heart is in the right place. There's a lot more of this episode to come, but first, if you like this kind of deep dive into what's really going on with China, you've got to subscribe to my premium website, ChinaUncensored.tv. That's where you'll see episodes and live streams we can't put on YouTube. And if you want to support China Uncensored, buying a membership is the best way you can. It's just the price of a bag of coffee. Once again, that's ChinaUncensored.tv. So, like with most things connected to China, these oil rigs have the potential to do much more than just drill for oil. For one, these oil rigs can be used as a way to legitimize the CCP's claims over Taiwan. But that's not the half of it, because they could also be used to hold weapons. As the Jamestown Foundation observes, given their size and support from seabed-grounded jackets, the rigs could easily accommodate surface search navigation radars and electro-optical, SIGINT, and acoustic sensors for detection, as well as small-caliber guns. Nothing to see here, folks, just an innocent oil rig. And that's not all. The structure's helipads could support attack helicopters. Depending on their weight tolerance, they might support even larger kit, such as point defense surface-to-air missiles and cruise missile launchers. This kind of thing has happened before, in something called the Tanker War. Back in the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, Iran repurposed offshore oil and gas platforms as forward bases with radars, radios, and guns, monitoring tanker routes and giving out orders for naval assets there. So, like with most of China's ideas, they stole it from someone else. These tankers were instrumental to Iran's naval attacks. More than 1/3 of all Iranian attacks on shipping occurred within 58 miles of 3 key platform clusters. This included wire-guided anti-tank missiles launched from helicopters operating off Iranian oil platforms in the Arabian Gulf. It got so bad, the US started targeting Iranian oil rigs. For example, in response to a missile attack on a reflagged Kuwait oil tanker the US had anchored off Kuwait, the US conducted Operation Nimble Archer in 1987. US destroyers and SEALs shelled and blew up an Iranian oil platform east of Bahrain and destroyed electronic equipment on a nearby platform. Then, in 1988, the U.S. conducted Operation Praying Mantis, which saw the largest U.S. naval action since World War II. The U.S. fired a helicopter-launched missile at the Iranian Sasan oil platform. U.S. Marines boarded it and saw firsthand the anti-aircraft weaponry deployed there. Would it really be surprising if China did the same thing as Iran, only with even more advanced technology? I mean, the CCP is plopping them down in the waters of other countries. And it's not just oil rigs. China's also putting quote-unquote sea structures in South Korean waters. China calls them fish farms, but South Korea fears they have another, more militaristic use. Which is a justified fear since everything in China has another, more militaristic use. Even the kindergartners. They might not hold weapons, but at the very least, they could easily be used to collect data that could help with undersea navigation and detection. All this, along with a host of other things, of course, are signs that China's preparing for war. Well, more subtle signs than the times when they're shouting, "Hey, look at us, we're getting ready for war." And if you want to stay up to date on the latest China news, click this button to sign up for my free weekly newsletter, where you'll see content I don't put anywhere else. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.